What we want to do during this session is share experiences from other business owners who've gone through it, who are going through it with you. We're going to share a few of those ideas. We're going to learn a little bit about the practicality of business. One of the lessons that I love to teach in the entrepreneur program is called How I Make Money from My Business. That's a very odd statement, isn't it? How I make money from my business. What's the problem with that statement? Business owners, I know you're here. Isn't it my business? So it is my money. That's one of the mistakes that we make. Understanding where your money is in the business is one of the keys. If you don't, many of us are, in fact, I will tell you to just wave at me. Those who share the accounts with their business. In fact, the account is their business and theirs are the same. See, we're here in this room. Just don't be shy. Just wave at me. Yeah, I can see you there. I see you there. See, I know. And so it becomes very difficult to account and to grow that business. So this is how to think about it. In the class, I ask people, and I challenge everyone to think about business like a game. If you've ever played with your children, I know now you've played with your children. It is, when they're very young, it's very hard to play with them. Why? Because rules don't matter, yeah? You're playing football, but that child will come and do what? They'll pick the ball with their hands, they'll go to the goal. Then, have you ever seen those kids? Then they put it right in front of the goal, and then they kick and still miss the goal right in front of it. Because they have no understanding of the rules. Business has rules. And if you're unaware of those rules, you can be in business for years and not be profitable.
My name is Flavian Taria, and most people call me the Candle Lady, and I'm also a brand strategist, an influencer and celebrity manager. So I run a scented candle company called Engineer Home, where we manufacture and sell scented candles, not mishuma, scented candles, not mishuma. And as we sell those candles, it's just not mishumas I've talked about. Like, we sell scented candles that talk and spread African stories and culture. And then another relationship comes in, Anita. Who of you know Anita Nderu here? Yeah, she's my best friend. She calls me, she's like, hi, you've talked about this candle making experience. So on my birthday, I want you to come and hold the candle making experience. I say, I'm not ready, babe. I don't think this concept is done. She's like, you don't have a choice. You're coming to do it. Send me an invoice. I send an invoice. She's like, okay, we're going to drive down to Tigoni and do the experience. Very shy, went, bought products. We went, set up. And as I'm doing this candle making experience, we are all done. People are walking out. Ivy now comes in. She's like, oh, hold up. Have you paid? They start collecting money. So these are the relationships and the people who are behind me and telling me, do not quit. You are not allowed to quit, and I will not allow you to quit. So I feel like if I'm talking about, and if you're building something that is meant, even no matter how much you fall and you cannot pick yourself up, you need to build relationships. Like, it's important to make sales and profit and put systems, which is, you need to count, first of all, how many products you're selling, and if also your business is viable, and if you're making mistakes. But I feel like if you're building something that is meant to last, you need to build relationships. But because of the relationship I built with Maureen, she allowed me to take videos for marketing. And that was the first time people actually were able to understand what we meant by the Mujine candle making experience, which is a space where, like, we bring everybody. Like, let's say how you guys are sat here, and everybody here is going to create a custom candle that you get to take home. And I don't think I would be standing here if I didn't have the relationships that I have built. And it's very important to be friendly, first of all. Communicate to the people who you're working with. Like, I'm usually very honest in business. I'm like, hey, I've failed. What am I going to do? But it's also because these women that I work with or I talk to, They have created a space for me where I can cry. I can tell them, I need a loan. I'm down bad. The sales are, if you're a business owner here, there's that thing of, hi, how are you? So how are you able to, how have you integrated your website that I can get a message and mine does not have it? And because you've built this relationship with these women in business, they just send you a link. If I had not talked to my influential friends about, hey, this is what I'm going through, what can you do? Maybe they've also come to me and said, hi, Taria, this is where I am at. I don't know what to do. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's not necessarily about, because even how one sent me a DM, can we go for coffee? And I'm very friendly. Then we become friends. The other person, hi, even before they became famous, hi, can we be blah, blah, blah? I say, yeah, let's go get coffee. Let's go for a trip. And then we move forward. But if you want to make friends, I wouldn't necessarily say because they're influential, but if you want to make friends, just shoot your shot. Shoot your shot. I don't know how I can explain it. You also have, if your mouth is closed, you will not eat.
To all the entrepreneurs who say, I work from home, therefore, I have no rent cost. See, you're here. You're in this room with me. Your home is free. Is your home free? And as a business owner, understand that was an asset. Even if it is yours, it was not free at the beginning. And without it, can you do the business that you want to run? No. So this is not a viable business yet. Why? Because there was a cost for where she works, whether it is home or elsewhere. You must account for the cost of the space in which you work. Because, let me tell you this, I'm pretty sure they're in this room as well. I'm sure there's somebody who was in business and they were working from home in this place. And then you moved to an office or a shop and things changed. Are we here? Yeah, I see you, my brother, I see you. Why? Because suddenly there were costs in that business that you had never accounted for. You see, as a side hustle, I sell you the product. My job is paying me for my salary. They're paying my other things. I'm fine. See, there's no problem. But in business, that's the money that's taking care of everything else. What else? Once you have rent, did you use the washroom? Did you get water? Was there electricity? Those are called what? Utilities. So in her business, even if she's working from home, she cannot produce this product or service without these things. So she has to account for them. Very good. There's also transport that was not related to you as my client. I have to go to the bank, don't I? I have to go and find clients who might not pay me. So there are transport costs within your business, those who are in the service business, that are not related to a specific client. You need to account for them as well. And I'm just trying to make it as simple as possible. Then there's marketing. And marketing is not always just social media. Even that lunch that you had to buy for a potential customer, that meeting that you had to go for, these are all costs that you must do what? Account for. Then, this is the one that we often make a mistake. Friends, in this business, Damaris is doing work that is not related to a client. Did we start naming them? She's accounting. She's doing business development. She's doing planning and strategy. Here's how to think about it. In any corporate that you know of, who tends to be paid the most? The CEO. Is the CEO on the one on the factory floor cleaning and doing things? Is the CEO the one in the shop doing the sales pitch that is there? Is that what they do? What does a CEO of a business do? Strategy and resource allocation, and we'll talk about that. Why are they paid the most? Why? Because without them, there's no business. In your business, who is the CEO? So who should be earning where is the greatest value as far as work in the business? Where is it? Yeah. Now, business owners, I understand. And you're saying, I'm starting up. I'm trying to build. I don't want to take money out of my business. I want it to grow. And so some of you are telling me I pay my employees, but sometimes I don't pay myself. That's no problem. That's called an investment in your business. That is a capital investment. But you must do what? Account for it. So in the class, we want to show you how to organize your business so that it functions in Nairobi, it functions in Mombasa, it functions so that you get the overall return. Does that sound like a good plan? So you're not just making money from your own work. You're making money from the work of others.
My name is Abel Mutua. Like you said, co-founder Affiliate Productions Limited. I'm the creative lead there. Other than that, I am a storyteller extraordinaire. I have a storytelling channel on YouTube. I am a husband, a father, na watu mtaani wananiita billionaire mtarajiwa. So today I just want to tell you a short segment of my story. If there are wakurugenzis here, I'm sure you've heard it a million times, but these are the kind of stories that I do not get tired of repeating because I do not want you people to make the same mistakes that us guys made. Sindio? But before I get into the story, let me ask you, do you believe in luck? Do you have that kafiga? There's that kafiga. I don't know if you guys have it. Yenye unajiambiaga hii nikipata shida zangu zimeisha. Do you guys have that figure? I'm curious. What's that figure for you? 2M. Manze nikipewa 2M. Sita shout, but you will see signs. Yeah? 2M. Anybody else? A gentleman maybe? Blue hoodie. Uko na hiyo figure? Yeah, yako ni 30 mic. Ewe ni hatari. 30 mic. So I had that figure. Mine was 10M. So wacha nianze story yangu, then we get to this 10M. So I got employed in 2007 as an actor on a show called Tahidi High. Millennials, Gen X, mnaijua. Now, I did Tahidi for 4 years, 2007 to 2011. By the time I was leaving Tahidi in 2012, I was 3 things. I was actor, script writer, camera person. Okay? There's nothing as humiliating as a total stranger. Mtu mjui ako sasa signatory kwa accounts zako. Ata tissue, just to buy tissue paper for the set. Anakuuliza kwa nini tunanunua tissue? Si umenunua tissue last month. Because he's now a signatory. That is the only way tungeza pata pesa kwake. So he gave us the money, but he was included there. Ndio tukilipwa tu hivi, he's the first one to do what? Very humiliating. We discover there's a guy, deadly sana, anafundisha design thinking for businesses. That is the person we want to talk to. Atufundishe tu vile kurani biashara yetu. Let's just break it down completely and build it again from scratch. Which is exactly what we did. Tukaenda Naivasha for 3 days. Tunaongea tu mambo ya biashara yetu nini. This guy charged us 1 million shillings. Yeah. But sababu ya trauma. Toa hiyo 1 million. In fact, it wasn't 1, it was more. 1 million ilikuwa pesa yao as a company juu ya kutufanyia hiyo shughuli. Then you cater for the expenses. Si tumeenda Naivasha 3 days. Kwani tunaishi free? Si tuko kwa hoteli tunapiga ma 5 course. So it was 1 point something. Then we did the thing. Sita wa trash, it did work for us. In fact, it made us change our business model. Ilisaidia sana. Now, fast forward. Tujuzi. June. Kwani naongea kitambo? Juzi. I get a call. Was it Waithaka? I think so. Niaje tuko na nini nakam entrepreneurship. Yeah. Unafaa kuwa hapo ndani wewe. Wacha hiyo mchezo. Okay. Sawa, wacha niingie. I joined this Centonomy Entrepreneurship. Week 1, week 2, Week 3, week 4, week 5, 6. What am I discovering? We're doing the same exact things. Nililipia 1 million. Guess Waithaka and how much? Guess. 62,000 shilling. You're bad. But si walisema kwa hii life lazima ulipie school fees. Hiyo ilikuwa mimi kulipia school fees. So as I wind up, you don't have to make the same mistakes as guys made. The problem with us was getting into business with nothing. Hatuna accountant, hatuna mtu wa PR, not PR, HR. This production is very, what do you call it? Personnel heavy. By the way, on a very chill day, kwa set, we have 60 plus people. That's a very chill day. Hiyo ni siku hatuna extras. Tukamua tulete extras. Juu saa ingine extras peke yake wanaweza fika so heavy. You need people to take care of that. Sisi ndio kila kitu. Mimi na Philip ndio accountants, HR. Sisi ndio procurement. Everything ni sisi. Mistakes tulianza. You know, things don't go wrong. They start wrong. Yeah. So those are the things that sahi tumekam kulearn through ikitu. Had I interacted with this course before this 50.1 million came into our hands, by now, you'd be seeing signs.
Entrepreneurship is lonely, isn't it? Because you don't get to join and in Centonomy, we like calling it the poverty support group. Oh, things are going wrong. Oh, what do I do? Oh, what do I do? What do I do? So when I talk about 16 years, I think it's really being able to accept those knocks. And I'm not saying everything is your fault. It's not. But everything is your responsibility. It's so bad, eh? Not everything is your fault. By the way, it's not. But everything ultimately ends up being your responsibility. Yeah? So again, said, why? What craziness? Because we have to accept being an entrepreneur is a touch of madness. Did you saw madness when Abel was speaking here? Obviously, you have to accept that's a touch of madness. Even you guys being here on a Saturday morning, I was like, who are these mad people who are braving the cold? So you have to accept entrepreneurship, by the way, is a touch of madness. So there's a madness. So now that to take that level of responsibility, you have to be a bit crazy. Yeah. And I remember where my craziness has come up. There's a time, got in the office, things were hard. KRA was on our backs. I just had a crazy moment of, are we going to roll over and die? The answer was no. So we kept the show going on. So you've got to now, that responsibility comes a bit of crazy where you're like, no matter what, I'm not going to roll over and die. Now, since I'm not going to roll over and die, the most important thing that you will keep asking yourself over and over and over and over. What am I? So you've taken responsibility, correct? You're not rolling over and dying, are you? It doesn't matter what happens, even tomorrow. Tomorrow whatever. Since I'm not going to roll over and die, what am I actually going to do about it? And then the how you are going to do about it comes at the very end. And I think all that for me, and I was like, why couldn't I pull that off for my first business? Why couldn't I pull it off for the second business? Why is it in this business? Because it's the same person who showed up. It's the same Waceke who showed up. Why this business? And I cannot run away from the fact that for me, Centonomy was more than just a business. It's a calling. The identity is going to be one of the things you have to get right. Who are you? So let's say today your business is printing business cards. How else could you define that business? What actually is it? Branding. Now, when you say branding, are there many things you could now do? Yes. But now once you call yourself business card printing, you have limited yourself. So just go back and ask, actually, what business am I in? Because if you're looking to last, it doesn't mean anything is wrong with your product now. But if you're looking to last, if you have the right identity of who you are, then it will open up the opportunities. That is why 16 years and beyond is going to be possible. It has not been possible because we were Personal Finance Training Limited. It is because we are possible, is because we are empowering people to create wealth. Let us not have egos. I think entrepreneurs, sometimes we are too ego driven. I think Abel was talking about it. You want to be the accountant. You want to be customer face. You want to whatever. Why do we want to do all that? It can't run without you. Yeah. When it's a decision, you also understand and come to a humble moment with yourself and say, I cannot do everything. Because I cannot do everything, this business must run without me. If you cannot go on holiday and your business runs, you are not in a business, you're in a crisis. Face it. That's just a crisis waiting to happen. What weight are you carrying simply because you think that is the way to do it? Rather than actually thinking, what do I need? Because that business went into financial problems, I was helping people buy and sell shares on stock exchange. Even the office I closed. We've gone to an office, full office research assistant, because that's what I saw in the corporate setting. I ran that business even more profitable at some point with a laptop and offices all over Nairobi called Java. Which Java do we meet at? Yeah. Which Java? This. Because I had offices all over called Java. But I was like, I'm running the same business with a laptop and internet connection and Java. What business did I have setting up all this? Best thing you can do for your business is completely become excellent at your strengths. But where you're weak, just because you are not born like that. Me, I was not born an operations person. Yeah? Me trying to I know how to set up the systems, but running them for me would be a toll on me. Yeah, I know how to set them up, but run them is a toll on me. So instead of becoming good at my weaknesses, what is my time better spent? Becoming completely excellent and getting that mover's advantage on my strengths. Okay? And let others who are strong come in to actually tell you. Money, I know we've talked about money a lot today, but I'll just leave you with this. Poverty is not a business strategy. It's not. But this is how we're doing poverty in our business. We're not conscious, one, about how money comes in, money goes out. We're not conscious between the difference between revenue and profit. If you made a chair and sold the chair for 1,000 bob and sold the chair for 1,200 shillings, you've not necessarily made money. Because maybe your materials were the 1,000 bob, but there's time that you put in. There's airtime that you put in, etc., etc. Then you're happy you've gotten a big order for 1,000 chairs. You've gotten a big order into poverty. Yeah, so we've got to understand the money and become very, very, very intimate with money. You've got to pay yourself first because you're not in this. What are you in this for personally? You've got to create wealth as well.
I want you to register now. Take that action to register for the program, the Centonomy Entrepreneur. So the installment plan, we recognize 60K to pay outright may not be as easy as that. And you're in business, we know it's about cash flow. So your first installment will be 21,000. That's by the first week. 4 weeks later, 21,000. Another 4 weeks later, 18,000. This is how the program works. Ladies and gentlemen, you come for one class per week because we know you're busy. Either during a weekday evening or a Saturday morning like this. It is the same class that works in the morning, during the week as it is on Saturday. So you can plan your week around it. On Saturday I have a client to see, I have to go visit, you come in during the week. If you know you're going to be busy on Saturday, you come in during the evening on the weekday. So this is designed for your busy lifestyle. And it allows you to grow week by week. You heard Abel saying, what you learn in the class, you go and apply immediately in your business. This is not about theory. The tools that we showed you earlier on about how you can be able to look at your business, those are part of the program. You receive them and you work through those tools with the team and the members who are there. If you can just go to the slide for all the modules, please. Kindly. There we go. Each module is building on the last. You want to understand the mindset of an entrepreneur before you do the design thinking that Abel was talking about and apply it to your mindset. We also recognize that fear is a big issue. I saw at the beginning of this session, please sell your product. Some people are wondering now, who am I going to sell it to when? You just have to have that ability to break through the fear and do it anyway, and then set that vision that Waceke was talking about, and we'll assist you to do that. Then we get now into the expert classes. Each one of these classes is taught by an industry expert. So when you're learning about marketing, it's not from just anyone. Somebody who's a marketer, and they also have run a business. We encourage we bring in all our trainers who have run businesses as well. Because the way you speak to someone is theory and real business is different. So that's what it's designed for. So we come in and we talk about how we make money in business, part of what we went through today, structure and strategy. Because if you're saying that is the vision, what is the foundation that will carry you there? Marketing, digital marketing, which now are linked, but they're separate. You need to have awareness around that. And then we get through all the money classes. These are all money classes. Accounting, working capital, raising capital, and taxes. Each one of them is a money class where if you get the money wrong in your business, you're going to miss out. Then we get into legal. So you'll be hearing from a lawyer about what are the responsibilities that you have legally and how do you set up your business in the best way. Finally, we repeat on accounting so that you just get the finances right for your business. And then we talk about you, the entrepreneur. You must get your personal finance in order because many times you are the problem in the business. Can we be true to ourselves? Yeah. That month that things are thick at home, you just take a little bit more from the business and you don't have a plan.